Ow. Just totally burned my hand on a light. Anyway, I want to talk about, most people, contrary to disbelief, counterintuitively think that perfect action prevails, when instead it's actually imperfect action prevails. Like me just reaching up to move a very hot light that I'm putting on myself. But sometimes you have to do things imperfectly to do them perfect. And it's kind of like the image on the front of this thumbnail that I put is me looking outside of myself to get better, right? And sometimes when we're doing things in a hurry, and I believe speed is power, and the quicker and more efficiently and more effectively we can do things, the further we get in whatever it is, that we're doing. You could relate a lot of that to exercise, just showing up, just going to the gym and just doing your thing. But imperfect action prevails in almost anything, right? But as human beings, we like to be perfectionists. We like to put in the back of our brain and saying, this has to be perfect before I put it out into the world, right? Or we don't do it. We use that as an excuse to keep us from moving forward. And I believe imperfect action prevails, because today I was in the middle of doing like 12 things. And with a lot of things, I try to collapse time. And I'm like, how much can I get done in 1 hour? Right. And I'll make a list, and I'll literally try to sprint and do things, not sprint, but run, be very, very quick, walk quicker, right? Get things done. Because most people take a very long time to do things. And I'm always trying to challenge myself so I could change myself for better. And I live in the middle of nowhere. So basically I'm in a cabin in the woods. So when I'm out here, I'm always just trying to be more efficient, more effective, and quicker. But, imperfect action prevails. We're not going to do everything perfect. We're just going to do it right. And a lesson I learned from an entrepreneur when I was at an event, when we could actually go to events and summits, and I believe this was in St. Louis, and it was at a summit called the Arte Syndicate, which I'm a part of. And at the summit, I forgot who it was that I spoke to, because I spoke to so many amazing people. Some of the people I spoke to were just really good and really high energy people, and they were very giving with their time, right? Because they were present and they were charismatic, and they're leaders. But I remember one gentleman, and his face is right there, but his name is out in another planet. I remember said, you know what? We were having a discussion about, getting things done. And he was talking about, it was right outside in the lobby in that open room before we go into the actual auditorium to where everybody was speaking. But he said, you know what? I do things to about 75 to 80%. And he says, I just feel right about them. And I heard something similar, and I just agreed. I was like, yeah. And the thing is, my truth was, I always try to move. At that time, I moved it to it's got to be 90%. I need 50 people's feedback before I put it out there and do things, and just, and he said, you know what? He said, I thought like that at one time too. And he says, but it prevented me from moving forward in my life. He said, I didn't get as many things done. And then he says he hired a A-class assistant. He had an assistant, and his assistant just said, get it to me as good as you can. I'll make improvisations on whatever it is, and then we'll put it out there. And he said, our audience will give us feedback, and then we'll make it better from there. So he taught me an important lesson about getting it 70 to 75% right. Just got to feel right. And there's a saying that I memorized by James Cameron, who did Avatar. And I'm a big movie buff. So anyone who likes movies, I love movies. I'm a cartoon head, love animation, love all that stuff. But he was talking about, just get it to 75% right, this gentleman. But James Cameron's saying was, you know what? I'm not a perfectionist. I do it until it's right. And then when I feel like it's right, I just put it out in the universe. So I was on a call with a lady named Kelly Farledew, and I'm saying her name wrong. I know it's something totally different, but she's an Amazon selling author. and I'm looking to put together a book, and I'm looking to work with her. So I was in this group, and she said the same thing, and it rang out to me because I was on this thing last night till around 10:30 p.m. And she said, you know what, I do things till they're about 75% right. And then I just, put it out in the universe and then get feedback from it. And then I'll either reiterate, make it better, and then put it back out again and get more feedback, or I'll just leave it as is. And just to put it out there because, she said, I used to wait till I thought, quote unquote, was perfect, but there's nothing that's perfect. And so it led me to that saying, imperfect action prevails in all things. We're going to do them imperfect. Maybe we're going to show up tired. Maybe we're not going to be fully aware or fully consciousness, but that's the one thing. Be fully conscious with what you're doing. Be very present and very in the moment of whatever it is you're doing, right? Because most of the time we're cast out into the future, or we're living in the past through the emotional imprints of wanting to feel a certain way because we've repeated that emotion so many times. Feels good. So we're bungee jumping in the past, and we're like bungee jumping or parachuting in the future, whatever you want to use. But that's preventing us from living in the present. And when I say imperfect action prevails, right, I do something and then send it out. Like with a lot of my guests, a lot of people call their, people that hire them clients. I call them guests because they're guests in my house. But I'll send them something and say, let me know what you think on this. This is what I think. These are the 4 to 9 valid points that we've been discussing together. Let me know which ones. And I feel these are very high priority for you. What do you think is very high priority for you and why? Just because we're always looking to get better. We're always looking to reach the potentiality of what we're trying to solve. Because, if you're alive long enough, all we do is solve problems, right? We are solution-oriented, teleological human beings, which is men, men do things different than women. I won't get into that, but it's like men focus on one thing. We're like very directive with tools, right? We use tools for things, and we're very just, doing one thing at a time until it's done. But sometimes we're looking at that wrong thing. But when we do it, we try to do it perfect, or we don't do it at all. So we waste so much time in culminating what our perfect moment is that we don't do anything, and then nothing gets done and we don't move forward. But when we do it perfectly and then get feedback, but when something's right in your heart of hearts, when you've done something right. You feel it. You're like, what? That's right. And as an ex-screenwriter, I used to write things and be like, this is good. This is very good. I want to send it out and get feedback. I want to make it a little better. So for me, it was constantly doing tweaks and iterations and getting feedback and then putting it out in the universe. But it was like, I know when something's good. I'm like, yeah, that's good. And you get that inherent feeling, unless you have other work to do, which there is therapeutic help for that. You have to get to a point where you do it, and then, I feel good about it. I'm just going to put it out there, right? You put a timeline on that, and you intentionally focus on what you need to do to get that done, and then put it out in the universe, right? And I think it's very important. So, I want to kind of like leave, where can you guys do something imperfect today, right? That needs to get done. It's on your to-do list, and it's something that you want to add into your life that will give you more life, maybe more life, more business, more energy, more purpose, more intention of what you're doing, but you keep putting it off because you're worried about it. Most of us worry about the things that we need to do. And, it's like me not doing this live. I was challenged to do 100 days of videos, right? And this is only day 2. And I accepted the challenge. And it was interesting because I was in a group of people that were like, and I love them. I love them all. And I know that they're going to listen to this or not. But, they were like, oh, I can't do this because of this. I can't do that because of that. I already have 100 of these. But that wasn't the point. The point was to do them imperfectly, right? Like this video. Many of you might just click on, click off. Some of you may stay and say, you know what? this dude knows what he's talking about. And I do a lot of deep thinking, and I got a lot of work with professional people. So I get feedback constantly, right? With people who own businesses, or, because what I do is I help experts become authorities in their space, whatever their niche is. And it's not just anybody, but it's certain people that I vibe with. So I help them build a business and run a business online until it gets to that point of where they want to scale it and grow it even further. But it's something that excites me because I'm an expert at what I do, and I love working with people who are passionate, that possibly work in a 9 to 5 and they want to scale to running their own business. And that excites me. So, you have to be imperfect with a lot of your actions. A lot of the things you do won't be great. Like showing up to a dance class, right? I don't know if anyone out there has just, I have two, I don't even know what kind of feet there are, two left flat feet. But you just show up and you become humble and you laugh and you enjoy and you imperfectly do things and you take action and you get better, right? And if your teacher, it depends on what you're doing. I've had martial arts teachers that are very they make you do 1,000 things until it's correct. But you come with that curiosity to life, like a little kid, man. I don't know if you ever see a little kid. And I heard this story, and it was said, I don't remember where I heard it, but Sir Ken Robinson, I don't believe he's no longer with us. He's an entrepreneur, something. I know he did something great. It's ailing me at this time. I don't know what it is. But he was talking about a little girl who was, they were in class. Maybe it was Bible class, or maybe it was some kind of religion class. And little girl's just drawing. And the teacher says, "Little girl, what are you doing?" And the little girl says, I'm drawing God. And the teacher goes, "You know what God looks like? What does he look like?" And then the little girl looks up and says, "Let me show you. I'll show you what God looks like," right? There's no editor there, right? There's nothing to edit the source. It's the teaching. It's all the stuff as we get older that we edit ourselves. So when you're taking that action, just take it imperfectly, man. Just do it, right? I decided to grow a beard. It's not the perfect beard, but I just did it anyway, right? And I'm probably going to shave it soon. And but you do things. There's always a phase of imperfect until it gets better and better, just like these videos. I know these videos are going to get better, And you know what? I'm going to leave you with this. Hakuna Matata, my friends. Hakuna Matata. Right? And again, awesome. I'm Raymond J. Negron, and this is Beyond Failure to Reach Success. And I'm looking forward to sharing some more goodness, some more greatness, some more exceptionalism with you. If that's even a word, but why not? It's a word now. So take care. Have an amazing day.